All right, hello. My name is Tom, and I'll be your examiner today. Could you tell me your name, please?
Hello, my name is Tatiana Cheshire.
Okay, can I see your identification, please? Okay, thank you. Now, so let's talk about your hometown. What kind of place is it?
My hometown is Yekaterinburg. It's one of the biggest cities in Russia. It's right in the middle of Russia, so it's not the interesting place, but we have kind of nice weather because it's real winter, very cold. It's real summer, very hot. And there's also many activities you can do. There's big mountains around the city, so we can go to ski or snowboarding. So yeah, it's a nice place to live.
And what's the most interesting part of your town?
For me as the citizen, it's nothing very interesting, but mostly many tourists come to my hometown in Yekaterinburg because it's a place famous kind of for a city where last Russian Tsar was killed.
Oh, wow. Sounds interesting, definitely. And would you say it's a good place to live, and why?
I think, yeah, it's a good place to live because it's middle of the Russia, so you can easily go anywhere. Russia is a big country, so if you live in Moscow and go to Vladivostok, for example, it's a very long trip, but in the middle you can go anywhere. And also the weather, as I said, very nice to live. And there's a lot of businesses in my hometown, so there's money and people mostly get nice salary. So you can find a job, you can get good education in university. So yeah, I think.
Wow, sounds great. Okay, now let's talk about a little bit about your accommodation here. Tell me, what kind of accommodation do you live in?
I live in Seoul now, and I rent a small one-room apartment in Gwanag-gu. It's just room enough for one person and a cat.
Okay, very good. And how long have you lived there?
I lived there for a few months. I arrived in Seoul 1 year ago, and first I lived in Airbnb apartments. Then I find this place where I live now. So it's maybe around 8 months, I think.
Oh, great. And what do you like about living there?
There is not much I like about my apartment because it's small, but I like the area, Gwanag-gu, because it's kind of student area because there's a Seoul National University here and lots of students and easy to go to club or bar with my friends.
Oh, sounds great. It sounds like a lively area.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you for answering all my questions. Now we're going to move on to the second part of the test, where you speak about a single topic. Here is the topic card. I'll give you about 1 minute to read it and prepare. And if you like, you can make some notes on what you want to talk about. You can start speaking now, actually. You can tell me.
So I have to describe something I own, which is very important for me. And I think it's probably most common answer these days. Most important thing for me is my smartphone. Yes, like I can go wherever I like with my smartphone. If there is internet connection, Wi-Fi, I can do whatever I need. Pay for something, find a way on map, translate something because I live in Seoul now and sometimes I have language barrier here. So yeah, my smartphone is the most important thing for me. I got it by myself. I bought it in Russia, actually right before coming to Seoul, because I wanted to buy my smartphone in Russia because there is a kind of strange thing in Korea. Smartphones always have click sound when you make a photo or video. In Russia, we don't have this, and so that's why I bought it in Russia. So I have it more than 1 year now, right, as much as I live in Seoul. I use it for everything, right? Everything, like taking photos, talking with my friends and family who stay in Russia, friends who live here, to study because I have apps to learn Korean language there. So yeah, if I lose my phone, it's kind of like lose everything I need in my daily life.
Oh, I totally understand that, right? Smartphones are so important. Would you think would it be easy to replace?
Right now, no, because when I buy a new smartphone, of course, I can switch it and like make new contact list, new app, buy new app for new smartphone. But if I lose my smartphone right now, it would be like disaster for me.
Definitely. And do you think your smartphone is valuable in terms of money?
I don't think it's very valuable. It's uh, it's iPhone, so yeah, probably I can like sell it for good money, but it's not. I'm not ready to exchange it for money because it's like really my small life.
Okay. Okay, now we're going to move on to part 3 of the test where we're going to talk about a topic from part 2, okay? We're going to consider how people's lives have changed, especially when we talk about like status and value. So what kinds of things give status to people in your country?
It's mostly, I think it's mostly about power because power can get you money. And on money, in Russia, at least, we believe that you can buy anything on money, like health, friends, wife.
Really? Okay, you can buy a wife with money. Okay. Wow. And let's talk about how things have changed in terms of status, in terms of value. Have things changed since your parents' time?
Uh, well, it's changed very much because, as you know, before we had Soviet Union, communists,
All right.
and so money wasn't main part in human life because government gave apartment to people for free, the healthcare was free, education was free, and everyone could get a job, at least like build something or cleaning something, but everyone could get a job. But when Soviet Union was ended, and everything was changed very fast and very harshly in Russia.
Right. So did you experience any of that time, like growing up during communism?
Yeah, I was very small child when it was communism, and also because I was small, I didn't remember like buying stuff. And you might know that in Russia in this time there was a very big problem with groceries. You can go to the shop and there was just like cans and no fruits or vegetables.
Wow.
I don't remember thing like this, but I remember when everything starts changing because like everyone starts speaking up loudly about their thinking, about their view on the situation.
Okay. So it must have been kind of scary to walk in the supermarket and only see cans of food, right?
It's very depressing actually.
Wow. Okay. I couldn't imagine that time. Okay, now let's talk about a role of advertising, especially with things like status, smartphones, things that are being advertised a lot. Do you think advertising influences what people buy?
Of course, yeah. I think especially in these days because we have uh, target marketing in internet connection, and when I know that everything around me kind of listen me, my smartphone as well. So I know that if I would speak about, oh, I think I need to buy a new car, for example, I think my smartphone would recommend me like buy this car, and of course it influenced me a lot, and I think it influenced most of people.
Okay, can you tell me about last time you bought something from a recommendation from your phone?
It's actually a hard question because I'm not buying that much stuff recently. But for example, here in Korea, the G market is very popular for buying stuff online. And when I go in G market, for example, I need to buy food for my cat, pet food. And I know what exactly I need to buy, but when I go to the site, the main page is like, oh, we have this sale. And I ended spending so much money on stuff I don't need really.
What other ways are you influenced by advertising?
Honestly, I don't think it's that much a problem here in Seoul, especially for me because I don't speak Korean well, and in advertisement I don't understand much. But in Russia, my experience was there's a very lot of advertisement around you, and when you go in subway, you hear advertisement, you see advertisement. Sorry. And yeah, of course, you always surrounded by you need to buy this stuff or this thing, and it's really every time around you.
Okay, wow. Thank you so much for answering all my questions. This is the end of your IELTS speaking test. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you have a good day.
Thank you very much.
Okay, nice
Goodbye.
meeting you. Bye. And we just have some post-test questions for you. Just tell me how you felt during the test. What are your overall feelings about today's test?
Oh, honestly, of course, I was stressed because test is always stress, but everything was kind of fun, kind of easy to go because it was like daily conversation with someone new to you to meet.
Okay. Do you think the question topics suited you?
Yeah, it was easy to answer because it's about mostly my daily life and my like life in general.
Okay. And what topics would you have preferred to have come up, like social or cultural or political topics, anything like that? Other topics?
Yeah, of course, I would like to discuss anything like social problems, politics, but I think it might be kind of uncomfortable during the test.
Yeah, it's definitely with some political topics. Okay, and which part did you find most difficult from today's test?
Most difficult was remembering thing about because I'm stressed to prepare my answer and do it correctly, and also I need to remember like what was it my childhood, what was it my hometown.
Definitely.
Yeah, so
Yeah, it's hard, even as an English speaker, it's hard to remember some details about childhood, right? Okay, and my last question is, what score do you think you got today? Do you think you got a really good score, a great score, amazing, or just okay? What do you think?
I think I got enough score. Like I did my best, but as much as I know that my pronunciation and my grammatics aren't very correct, I don't expect too much.
All right, thank you so much for answering all my questions, and yeah, have a nice day.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.